Are we live streaming? I think we are.
Yep.
I think we are. Yay. Okay, we're in Impact. So hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. We have Chris Fritch here. And Chris is in Minnesota and Coon Rapids, just outside of Minneapolis. Great realtor, has become a very, very close friend. He's like a brother. We love each other. We love to give each other a hard time.
Yes, we do. Yep.
He's been to my house. I've been to his house. We hang out. So we're way more than just business partners. We have a great friendship with Kevin and Peggy and our families and everything. So it's really cool. What I wanted to go over with you guys and why we have Chris on here today is he has done a great job of building his organization through events. And we have a really big event happening in Minnesota on June the 3rd. And we were thinking we would love to share with you what it looks like so you guys are able to take exactly what he's doing, and others like Meg Watson and Robin Phillips and other great people in the organization, Keely, and lots of great people all over the country are doing events. But I just thought because Christmas is coming up on June the 3rd, it'd be a great opportunity to really talk about it, and kind of we're in the throes of getting it all pulled together. So Chris, would you mind just sharing what's coming up on June 3rd?
So yes, we're having an event, and it's called Limitless Sales and Courage to Act. So there's two different parts to it. The morning session from 9 to 12:30 will be more about business and things like that, about how to create and be more intentional about your business and how to break through the limits that you've established most of the time in your head. We've got a lot of great speakers coming out. From Shelley's obviously one of them. Brent Gove, Lee Tessier, Leif Becker is coming out, and he's an international speaker as well. He holds the record for breaking boards in 1 minute. So part of that is we're going to have people coming up on stage actually breaking boards with him. So it's going to be pretty exciting there to get people involved in that as well. So, and then from 12:30 to 1, it's going to be a quick lunch, and then we're back at it again from 1 to 3. And that's going to be more about how to build your business and how to have other income streams such as rentals, flips, how to build your organization as far as what you're going to be doing with, EXP and that type of thing. Just more passive incomes than actual real estate related sales. So we think that's going to be pretty exciting as well. Yeah.
And the goal really is to get a lot of great people on stage so that there's always going to be somebody that's going to resonate with another person in the audience. So
Absolutely.
it's like because everyone's at different phases of their business. Just so you all know, Chris and Peggy run an $80 to $90 million real estate team. His organization's at 68 agents, some really great producers. All of them are cappers, icons, people that are really good quality people. And so this event helps them grow their organization. It gives them a thing to invite people to. So events are a great opportunity to create an invitation. And invitations start with, first you got to create it. So I'm going to show you all real quickly what it looks like. Chris was nice enough to send it over, what he's created, him and his team. He's got a girl that's helped him out. Hold on one second here. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to do a share screen. So share screen with you all. There we go. So here it is. So this is what it looks like, is the flyer. I don't know if y'all can see that. I hope you can.
Okay. I can.
Can you see it?
I can.
Okay, good. So here it is. This is what it looks like. It's Limitless Sales and Courage to Act. So I love the title because one, it's like getting in your own mind and becoming limitless is something I think we all work at, right? We all get in our own head about what we can accomplish or not accomplish. And also look at all the people. So it shows that it's not just like one or two people doing the event. It's a lot of people bringing a lot of knowledge. So I think that brings energy when you have lots of people on stage. That's really good. This is a new format that Brent helped Chris and I come up with, where it's just like just a crowd of people getting on stage and sharing. And of course, you're going to have your keynotes and things like that are going to kind of be your rocks inside of that to create that foundational piece of the event. Then I'd like to show you all the actual event create, which is, I thought it was right here, but maybe not. Forgive me. Let's see. Nope, it didn't come through. So Deb, if you could do me a huge favor and text me or email me the event create, we'll show you all what that looks like in just a minute here. But the Event Create basically is your inviting platform. So yes, we create a graphic that's like what you visually just saw, and the Event Create is a place to capture people coming in. So you can charge $49 a ticket or $47 a ticket or $99 a ticket to help offset that expense. And people in the organization should be contributing to help pay for this, and you can get sponsors. So that's a big piece of it, is getting sponsors. They get in front of your organization. So talk a little bit about what that looks like, Chris, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so this event, we aren't charging anybody on this one, Shelley. Basically, we're covering the expenses. We do have sponsors. We have 6 sponsors at 500 apiece. So that's obviously, doing the easy math, is $3,000. We're anticipating that the event is going to be 6,000 plus, probably more to closer to 8. But with RESPA and things like that, our vendors can only cover up to half of it or less. So we got to be real careful with that. You don't want to go over that as well. So we always have a little cushion there, $500 to $1,000 cushion to make sure that we don't go over that amount. So, I have charged in the past for other events, and that works too. I mean, sometimes people have more skin in the game, so to speak, because then they're going to show up if they're spending $49 or $99 or something like that. This one's going to be large enough where I'm not too worried about that, you guys. I just want to make sure that we fill the room, and we're hoping for 250 to 300 people at this one, so it's going to be fairly large. And then for the morning session, we're going to lose some people for the afternoon session because they're not going to be interested in that. Maybe they're not been in the business that long or just can't foresee that much down the road. We are going to invite everybody from the first session to the second session for sure. And then we also have something later on that evening coming as well for a special invite for people that are very interested in learning more about EXP, that type of thing, because we don't want to use this opportunity just to shove EXP down people's throats. We want to make sure that they're there to learn and increase their business, and we bring value to them first and foremost. And then if they're interested in EXP after that, that's great. We'll talk more about that then.
Right. And you're bringing the guests are coming in, like, I think on Sunday, and then some of us have to leave right away. I'm staying a little longer, but like you're filling our schedules up too. So then there's people that
Right.
may not want to come to the event or not able to. So Chris is working to get like special dinners, brunches, coffees, whatever. And we're going to be, so you're leveraging every hour of the time that we're there.
Right. Yeah, it's real important to, because there's a lot of people that aren't going to want to be seen at an
Mhm.
event like this. They don't want to know that they're even considering another place, but they're interested. So you have to make that opportunity available to them. And obviously, you guys are the greatest at this, and talking about EXP and on the building the organization side. And if people have questions about it, that's great. We can bring them value there and answer any questions that they have. So that's why we use this extra meetings for that.
Yeah, so the limitless sales is really going to be all about people selling more homes and building their
Yep,
actual real estate, because that's
100%.
what we fundamentally are as a real estate company that wants to help agents sell more homes. The cool thing about it is EXP allows us to have an ancillary income, passive income, if you will, and then also acquire stock. And people are very interested in that as well. But we wanted to be very deliberate and have the first half be about sales. And then the second half is like, we're having lunch. We're going to give people 30 to 45 minutes, not an hour. Like, we're going to shorten that time, and then they're going to come right in. We're going to jump right into actual what we're going to do, like passive incomes, like, because Lee does a lot of rentals. Brent obviously with the passive income there. So we're creating that, and that's what's courage to act, because it's like the courage to act on something, taking your personal money and using it, or your time or energy, to build something bigger than transactions. Because that was really what got us excited about EXP fundamentally from the beginning, was the fact that we can build something beyond transactions. And I've personally seen where it's impacted people who have had hardships in life. I mean, things happen, kids get sick, you may get injured. And especially now that they've transitioned, the company has the EXP 2.0 now, which I love, with the rev share. because you now, like those 3 levels, for those of you that don't know, they've opened up the 3 levels. You don't have to have any FLQAs. So that means you don't have to attract anyone. You don't have to have a certain number to get unlock levels 2 and 3. So, and then the open level 4, you only have to have 5 FLQAs actively selling realtors is what that means for those who are newer to the company. And what we're doing with these events is it's giving you an opportunity to invite people to come so they can see, wow, these people have really great agents that are selling real estate at a high level, because people are attracted to that for one. And then also it allows them to see that we have a community and we do things together. We help each other build our businesses. And then it says, they're like, wow, I really want to be a part of this. Like, I want to be something bigger than just, being siloed in my own brokerage. A lot of brokerages operate in a very siloed capacity where there's not a lot of sharing. I mean, I think that EXP's kind of forced that to evolve better now, because I don't think there's any way else to do that now. So I think it's gotten better, but I still think that we are the #1 collaborative company as far as sharing what we're doing to build our business. Chris, when you're planning something like this, because I know a lot of people may be intimidated or a little bit like, oh my gosh, like I've got to get people to an event, right? That's intimidating. You're getting ready to put money on the line, and you've got sponsors and you want to make sure you're filling the room. So tell us a little bit about, like, you created the Event Create, which I'm going to show everybody shortly. But you also, what do you do with that? Like, okay, you've created, first of all, an Event Create, just so everybody knows, is a graphic basically turned into a website. And the website has a button like buy now, or, basically like sign up now, or whatever it is. And then it allows you to register, and then you can send reminders. Hey, we have this coming up, blah, blah, blah. One of the first things we do when we come up with an event, it was do a save the date, because it's like that first, like, hey, like maybe not everything's ready yet, full on ready, like which they're going to get, but it's like, hey, this is coming, save your date, because you'd hate to lose someone that would have come because they scheduled something on that day. So that's the #1 thing to do. And then you want to share a little bit about what it looks like when you're creating your Event Create, what thought process went into it, and who and how you did it.
So yeah, so getting the save the date out is important. And you don't have to have everything ready. As a matter of fact, we just got our last speaker yesterday, so she's now on the front of the limitless sales and courage to act. So and we were waiting to make sure that we could get her to come and speak, and which she is, so that's great. And but you don't need to have everybody on there to get started, you guys. I mean, to finish it and to get the invites out, yeah, you want to do as best as you can, but it's important just to get the things out, and all you're doing is adding value for more and more and more. And you can send those, when you send out reminders and things like that, all the speakers can be on there as well. So that's not a huge deal, but so we do that, and then we get the event created with all the of the event center, who we meet. Okay, who's our target? We do different types of events as well, but this is just an agent event. But what do we have? And there's a lot of thought that goes into it. I mean, even down to lunch. We're going to do salads this year because we've noticed that if you serve meatloaf and mashed potatoes and bread, people are pretty tired after that, and people are snoring out in the audience. So we want to keep it low carb and just keep people on their toes and excited and motivated. So that, and the fact that the event that we have is, we can have up to 300 people here. So we're going to shoot for that. If we don't get that, great. If we're going to have 300 people, we probably have to have 400 registrations, because plan on 25 to 30% fallout. Even though they're registered, they're not going to show, and just expect that, because that's going to happen, especially at a free event. But it doesn't, again, you don't have to have this big of an event. You can do a 20-person event too, and start small and get used to it, and just warm up to it. And we also have our sponsors, for this to help cover the cost. We have 6 of those. This one, actual event, we have, obviously it's agent related. So any of our services like title, mortgage, any septic, to, I mean, any type of staging, and those types of people we have in here, because they're related to the agents, and the related business to the real estate company agents that are going to be there, so they can sell their services, because they're helping out. So you want to make sure you're advertising for them, and make sure that they're getting something out of it as well. So, and because you want them back to help cover these expenses when you do these things.
Right.
So that's very important.
That's all really good. Basically it's just a matter of, and you're looking and talking to different people, getting that attention on the event. So you're
Right.
texting, calling. So he's not just like sending a blast email. Email is not going to get someone to come to your event. If you want someone to come, you should be like, hey, Chris, we're having this event on June the 3rd. Could you please save the date? I'm super excited about it. We have speakers coming from international. We have some really good information we're sharing. This is kind of the idea of what it is. And then be on the lookout and maybe texting you the actual invite. So that's a personal invite, right? You call them, talk to them, hey, how are your kids? I mean, it's the whole Zig Ziglar. People don't care unless you show them how much you care about them. And I know that's not the right quote, but you get the gist. And then also sent texting the event to them and saying, hey, oh, look at my little thumb. That's so cute. You're texting the event to them and saying, hey, you have a text message that goes out, and that could be a mass text if you wanted to, but the individual, they're going to know because it's not coming from your cell phone number if you're mass texting, right? So being able to do that is good. And then also you do something even extra special, which I love. Tell us what you do with the actual, you mail them an actual invite, like it's like a wedding.
Right. And just to add to what you just had said, I'm backwards from what you just mentioned.
Okay.
I text first because it gives me a reason to call. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
went through my phone. I had 250 agents that are in my phone that aren't, that I would like to invite to this. So I texted each and every one of them. I had one reply to stop. That was it. And that's fine. But and then I can follow up. You want to get it out to everybody, but the people in specific that you want to invite, call them after, because you've already sent them the text. Now you've got a reason to call. Hey, I sent you a text yesterday. Just wanted you to be first to know that this event's going to probably sell out. So I wanted you to be up there and give you the ability to sign in or sign up as soon as possible. So that's what I do it that way. And then we
love
also
that.
follow up with what you had said. One, you have the Limitless Courage Act. That's our invite that we send out. On the back, it talks about the speakers and whatnot, and what they're going to be talking about and who they are. And then we have a special event later on after this event. It starts at 4:30, and that's going to be where we talk more about the model explained. Brent will be talking about that, about EXP 2.0, those types of things, everything new that's happening with EXP. And then we're going to have an hour of social hour cocktails after that with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. And that's what this event looks like right here. So
That's nice. Because that's more of like a, hey, you're special,
right. So those are the people that we know that have interest and who we'd want in our organization, who we think it could be definite drivers. So we will mail both of these to them, and we stuff it with confetti so it's spilled over
Oh,
the
that's
floor.
cool. I love that.
And they'll remember when they open it. And they'll be mad at us, but that's okay. They'll at least realize that
I want to, I don't want to skip past that. You need to be memorable. It was funny. I was
Yep.
this morning, I was going to do a video about being memorable on social media, and being memorable is adding confetti to your, even if you're, that's an awesome way to get people to pay attention.
Right, right. I mean, you want to do things that's going to set you apart, not just a standard. I went to an event the other day and I want to say which company it was with, but I got invited to it, and it was good for the most part, but pretty boring. There was a couple of things that were great about it, but other than that, I noticed when I looked at the table that there was probably 100 people that name badges that were still sitting on the table, that people that didn't show, because I don't think they had enough oomph in their invite, so to speak. I mean, you
Right.
really gotta get in there and get that registered in people's heads.
You got to create FOMO. So like if your
Right.
invite doesn't look like a crowd's going to be there, like
Hmm.
they're going to feel like they're missing out. Like, well, I should be there. What are they going
Right.
to be talking about? Create that FOMO. So you really need to think about, it's a lot of execution on the front end, right?
Right.
And time. It's not just like, let's throw this invite together. I mean, right now with Canva, you can like literally pull the person out of their background. You can go on social media and pull pictures and
Yeah.
layer people. It's a lot easier than it used to be to create really attractive invitations and things like that.
Mhm.
So it was funny because Brent shared this limitless idea with us, and he had been to an event and she kind of was like, hey, this really worked well. So you have someone that knows it works well. It's like duplicate what they're doing, right? Like,
Mhm.
let's not try to recreate the wheel.
R&D, rip off and duplicate.
Right?
Oh,
Take it
there you
easy.
go.
Don't kill ourselves. We have enough brain damage in this business.
There you go. Yeah.
So make it easier. But it's fun doing it together. And I will so what did you do to build a team to build this to make it easier? Like I know like every day I hear from you, or at least every other day, about Shelley, what about this? And what do you think about that? And this is what we're doing. And he likes to run things by different people. I know you talked to Lee, I know you talked to Brent, Peggy, Carly, your team. Like how does that work for you? What does that process look like for you?
Well, I mean, we do a lot of events. We have our charity events and our team events and our client events and stuff like that. So I never really did agent events till I joined EXP, obviously, but there was no reason to do that. Um,
Right.
but it's a ton of fun. You get to meet a lot of people that are same mindset as you are.
Mhm.
And so that's great. I mean, that's why we do it. But the reason I run it by you, because you guys are the greatest at it. I mean, you guys been there, done it, and you know, I want it. I don't want to have it be, you know, mediocre or okay. You know, you want it to be something that resonates with everybody and
Sure.
that's there. So you want to go to the people that know what they're doing. You know, obviously we're getting better at it as we go. I do
Oh,
have an event person on my team. That's all she does is events. She's great at it. Sherry Olson, she's awesome. I also have a social media person and marketing person, Carly Nelson. She's great as well, to create all this stuff and get all the invites out and, you know, go to the events and actually we do video at the event that the event center that we're going to have it at.
Mhm.
Invited them there, just a reminder. So, before I forget, I want to make sure that I remind you guys about that too. It's so important that you remind people, you know, a week ahead, 3 days ahead, the day of or the day before, so they don't forget about it. And one, that make sure that if they do have to schedule something, they can schedule around it.
Right.
That's
Right.
key.
It
Yeah.
is key
Yeah.
because they will forget. I mean, they're busy, but they don't want to let you, especially when you do it personally, where you're sending them a
Mhm.
text, hey, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And here's all the
Absolutely.
information. Parking's in the back. It's going to be great. We're super pumped. It's got to have all the same energy that started at the beginning
Right.
to get them there at the end.
Right.
Um, and then, I love that you were talking about, um, how did you pick your how did you pick your people? Like, let's talk about that because that was different. It's like your speakers are all different types of people. So
Mhm.
how did you say, you know what, this would be great. They would be great. I mean, some people will be up there for 1 minute, some people will be up there for 40 minutes.
Right.
So it gives people a voice, right? When they're up there and even if it's for
100%.
minutes, everyone has a story and everybody has something they can relate to.
Right. So we try to pick from rookies that are doing fantastic to people that are doing the first transaction. I'm really excited about it. I've got a closing coming in a month. I'm just jacked about real estate. This is so much fun and just to bring it, and maybe they only talk for a minute, but they got up there and maybe there's somebody in the audience is like, oh dang, I like that person and I can
Yeah,
relate with them, you know, and they don't have to be EXP agents. A lot of my speakers aren't.
right.
They're not EXP agents, and I've got a rookie that's Emily, that from our team, that's going to be talking about. She kills it in real estate. Her first year, 28 transactions. She's going to be up there talking about that, how she did it, what works for her. To, you know, more experienced agents, that Artemis is going to be up there, who's closed over 300 transactions as a
Crazy.
solo agent in a year. She does that on her own, but the #1 Latino agent in the United States. So it's yeah, and all the way, and then Shelley, myself, you know, I've been in business longer than anybody on here, but unfortunately, but, so, you know, people that run teams that are on a higher level and that, you know, that have been there, done that and worked their way through being a rookie agent all the way up to being teams. Lee Tessier, as a matter of fact, you know, he's another one. And Shelley, you and your team, Brent Gove, you know, what he knows about all this stuff, you know, these are big name people that really know what they're doing. And Leaf's going to be coming in breaking boards. So that'll be exciting to get some people up on stage and,
I know
um,
we can break a board. He's a muscle
yeah,
man.
yeah, we ordered 25 for Leaf, and then 125 for the audience. So we will be walking people through. They will be breaking boards on
That's
breaking
awesome.
those limits is what it's all about. So it's going to be a
I love
lot of
it.
fun. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I want to finish this up the last part of this. We're going to be putting together, just so you all know, we will be putting together in our vault exactly how to do an event. And we're constantly adding how to do that. Kevin's and Craig are working on rebuilding that vault. So we're going to be using actual like checklists in there, how to do these events, how to pick a venue, different sizes. I mean, there's going to be lots of good information in there to help you with this. We're going to interview Meg Watson, who does them, and Robin Phillips and Tristan and a lot of different people, because you're going to get different ideas from different people. So that's going to be in that vault. So I'll be on the lookout for that. As soon as it's ready, I will be the first to share it on this page with you. But real quickly, Chris, so it's really cool because you said earlier, events weren't always about attraction. That you started with your real estate business. How critical and how important do you think events are to the success of your $80 to $90 million team?
It's huge. The events we do, our client appreciation events are awesome. We have clients that have been coming for
Mhm.
30 years that will not miss one. And they're still in the same house, but they do refer a lot of business, and we want to put our
Mhm.
arms around them and love them. We have a client event coming up. There's a lake here in Minnesota. It's called Lake Minnetonka. We have an upscale restaurant with a rooftop patio. It's an expensive event, but it's going to be well worth it. Hopefully 200 past clients there. So that we're expecting there to just spend time with them, and yep. And we have sponsors of that as well. So you're not absorbing all the costs, you're absorbing quite a bit of it. But again, total different sponsor there. It's more something that a homeowner could use. Maybe it's a painter, maybe it's a house cleaner, stuff like that. All those people that we are bringing there aren't the same sponsors as we have for an agent event. And then also, our charity events that we do as well, that's a big part of our team. We've been with St. Jude and the Dylan Witchen Foundation for 8 years now. We do a lot of different events with them. We do a golf event. We have 288 golfers at our event. We raise a lot of money for St. Jude, where this year we'll be up over the last 8 years, thanks to the team and everybody behind us and all of our clients and people that participate and everything in it. But we'll be up well over $500,000 that we've donated to St. Jude and the Dylan Witchen Foundation. So we're real proud of that. And I've got four agents and my staff down at Memphis right now, touring the hospital in the Target House to see why we do what we do, and to know what, more about it and those types of things, and wrap their arms around it as well. So, yeah.
That's really cool. I love the St. Jude. They do a shooting event where they shoot trap and sporting clays. It's kind of like golf with a gun, but you're shooting clay targets, not animals or birds or anything, real
Yep.
birds. They call them clay birds, but
Yep.
that's a lot. I want to come to that event for sure. And
Yep.
there's really and what's really been cool, I've noticed that your team is so excited about it, and you really work to help them understand the value behind why you all do what you do. And you said Dale Witchen really fast. That's a family member that Chris knows, family that Chris knows, and the boy was amazing, and he wanted to help other children that were going through what he was going through. Am I correct on that?
You are, yeah. He was between my kids in high school, and um, he ended up passing away his junior year. But he was a stud football player and just a great young man. Found out he was terminal on his 16th birthday, and went all over the country speaking about this, and actually started the St. Jude Walk and Run here in Minnesota himself, and
Wow.
started the Dylan Witchen Foundation. Wanted that going before he passed away, and just a phenomenal young man. And getting behind his dream is what we do, and his dream is just no family would have to go through what his family went through, or another child. So
Right.
yeah, so that's we love it, and we get behind it, and it can be heart-wrenching at times, but well worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you all do that. You guys are a super team, and when you give back like that, it's like you're not looking. You're like, yeah, it's not going to cover all my costs, but it's going to cover some of my costs. But the marketing behind that is like 10 times what you could do buying an ad in the paper, and it's more meaningful because we are involved in people's lives, whether we're
100%.
having an agent come to an event. That's a part of you're changing their life. I mean, you're not just having them come to these events because you think, oh, I'm going to get something out of it. It's
Right.
because you know that they become a part of our company. We're going to have relationships like you and I and Peggy and Kevin have. I mean,
Right.
and Misa, and I mean, it's so much bigger than just sales and transactions. And it's helping people have more for themselves. And that's really why we do the events. I mean, if it wasn't work, if it didn't make an impact in other people's lives, why even do it? Right? If it's just for yourself. And that's why you're so successful, your team and your family are so successful, is because you do
Right.
give back so much to so many. And
Appreciate
I
that.
can't really teach that sometimes, but I hope people hear that. And I'm sure there's a lot of great people listening that do give back themselves too. But it's like, it's how do we make it better for the world, not just, and that's what real estate really is about. We're making people's dreams come true in every
Right.
capacity.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we're very proud of our charity stuff that we do. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I love that the events, because of what you did before, now kind of helps with this other piece of your business and other agents' business. And it's really to give the agents in your organization opportunity to invite people to come with them as
Mhm.
well, to be a part of what you're doing. And and I know that you're really passionate about that as well. And it gives your team an opportunity to invite people so that they can build for their future. So this is an invitation, and then what happens afterwards, you follow up. This is not they come to an event and they join EXP next week. This is a relationship building, compounding of giving over time. It turns into future business. And that's what our industry is. I think a lot of people miss that when they get in. They think, oh, I'm going to sell a house, but it's not about the house. It's about the people in the house. And
Right.
that's really where that starts. And of course, all the marketing and all the stuff you see on social media, and we have to do all that. I mean, that's just part of it. But
Mhm.
but it's fundamentally, when it gets down to it, it's really people to people. So
Right.
well, thank you so much for doing this with us today, or with me today, and with the whole impact group, and sharing and talking about, there's struggles when we do these. These are not easy. You run into problems, right? When you're like, oh my gosh, we got to have a microphone. We got to have, I mean, that's silly stuff, but you got to be thinking there's lots of details that go into planning an event, and they're not hard to do. The hardest thing to do is picking the date and grabbing the location. After
Right.
that, it's just filling in all the gaps to when you get to that point, right? And then having a plan in place that it works to help get those things in front of the right people, so that you are attracting and bringing in the people that matter.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. You have any last words?
One thing, we always have a videographer at a lot of our events.
Mhm.
Smaller ones we don't, but the larger ones like this we will. So if anybody wants to see what those look like, they can go on our webpage. We do have events, videos from the Shoot for the Cure that we do, our golf event, and our client events as well. So feel free to hop on our webpage and check them out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. More than happy
What
to
is
help.
what is your webpage? Is it chrisfritch.com?
Yep, chrisfritchteam.com. Yep.
chrisfritchteam.com. So it's Chris and then Fritch, FRITCH, team.com. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. That's awesome. I love
No
that.
problem. Yep.
You're gonna play those at the event coming up, aren't you? The video,
100%. Yep.
they're so good. I loved it when I saw it the
Yep.
last time. That was
Yeah.
awesome. All right, awesome. Have a great week, and we will see you guys. See if you guys need something, reach out to Chris or myself. We will help you if you want to do an event or you have a vision. Start with a small one, 5 people. It could be at your house. It could be anywhere. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be 300, but we just want to show you a big one, because you can always scale way back and then build that.
Absolutely.